Hey guys, thanks for stopping by. I got a little video here. I thought it may be interesting to some people who live out in the woods, but maybe not. We get a lot of snow out here, like I said before, and year to year it varies, but we'll get anywhere from 2 or 3 feet to 5 feet. And a lot of times when it's cold outside, the guys that live in snow don't want to talk about it. We could get 2, 3 feet, and if it stays, and the storm ends and then it doesn't get cold. I mean warm. Excuse me. It doesn't get warm, and so the snow sits there, and then another storm comes in and get another 2 or 3 feet. So we've gotten maybe 5 feet here. Quite a bit of the in the old days. Not so much now. But now this is a little video on what we should do, or what you should do, or what I do to prepare for winter. We've been snowed in for, I think the maximum's been about 3 weeks, and there's no way to get out, really, um, since we're so far from anybody. And it's uh, about 5 miles from the nearest person, but that's not the store. We're about 5 miles to the nearest plowed road that goes to the store. So it's I've got a pretty good snowblower on my skid steer that does get us out. But it just gets it to the main road, and that's not plowed. And there's another 5 miles up to get to the other road. So there's no way to plow, with my skid steer that much snow. So we're stuck in here. So you got to be prepared. You got to be prepared. You have to, because, well, like I said, we're out here by ourselves. And my grandson Jeff and his family's down here with us. So if we're not prepared, we could, serious stuff could happen. So these are some of the things I learned over time living here at the same place for year after year for about 49 years or so. One thing we want to do, we don't want to run out of propane. Now we used to, before we got our fancy solar system in here, we used to have to depend on a propane generator a lot, and we run that a lot. Now we have propane heat. We have, we used to do the wood stove thing, but and I did for years and years and years. I cut wood and brought it in, and I don't want to do that anymore. So we got these propane furnaces, wall furnaces, seen them in the old days, but they don't take any power or anything. So you have to have propane for that, water heater, um, what else? The stove, So you want to make sure we got a lot of propane in stock. So we got enough we have a great, huge, big um, propane tank, and it holds enough for a year of propane roughly for us. So we have to get that filled. We always make sure that's filled. And before we go into winter, we always have a little checklist, and we'll check that off, make sure, before the winter hits, and we got that good. Another thing is, whenever we get like on the news, well, there's going to be a bigger, snowstorm coming in, which could be, quite a few feet deep. We don't know if we're going to get snowed in for 3 weeks or a month or whatever. Now they got the super El Nino they're talking about. So, and that's going to be the worst one on recorded history or something. So I don't know how that's going to affect us. But you got to be prepared. So this is the obvious thing. One of the obvious things is you want to have plenty of food for us and the dogs. We got 2 big dogs, and they eat a lot. And so we have to have, and we feed them, what we feed them is good high quality kibble, but we also they get 4 eggs each every day. So we have to have a lot, which is like 8 eggs a day. It's like, what, 56 or whatever, eggs a week. So we have to bring in cases and cases of eggs for them, and big bags of dog food. And we have to make sure. Now, we don't carry that all the time. It's just when the storms are coming in, we'll do that. And the same for us. I'm a carnivore, which means all I eat is meat and eggs, and Connie too. She eats a little bit of side stuff because she has to keep her weight up. She's down so light that she has to eat some carbs once in a while to keep her weight up. Otherwise, she was down like 98 pounds, and she's getting on 5.5. So, but we have to have, so I go down, and which I usually do anyway. I mainly eat ribeye steak every day, and I'll have a sausage link with it, or maybe a 2 egg omelet or something like that. So I'll go in and I'll buy a big rack of prime, the prime rib, not prime, the ribeye, excuse me, the ribeye, and it's the prime cut. It's good stuff, really good stuff. And I'll buy these racks. Are big. They're big, and I'll cut them myself. And it's only at Sam's. It's only like roughly about $15 a pound. It's a really good deal. So I'll buy 2 months with two of them. One lasts me about a month, and the second month. So we'll have enough. We try and have enough stuff in stock like this for about 6 weeks, because we usually get out by then. So that's what we do. And then Connie has all her stuff that she wants to do, wants to eat too. So she does that. And but you have to have enough food. What are you gonna do when you can't get out? And so we do that. Another thing we did, we have home equipment. Now, when we used to be on a generator more than we don't run the generator all now with our new solar system. We got a big heavy-duty solar system. We don't really need to use it. But back in the day, we did. We did have to use a propane generator. And it was, so we ended up buying good-sized generators. We had about 5 of them in stock. Because if you're out there in 4 feet of snow, and all of a sudden, the generator blows up, and they do when you use them all the time. They'll blow every year or two. You got to get another one. And when they'll blow, and what are you going to do? So we've got a garage, and we have about 4 or 5 of them in stock, and they're good sized ones. So one blows up in the middle of winter, you shove yourself out there, put it in the skid steer, and hook it up real quick. And the same one, they're all the same, so all the fittings and everything are, fit in real good, nice and tight, just like the other one did without any problem. We also have water pumps. We have to pump from our, besides from our well, which I'm not worried about when we're snowed in, but we have to pump from we have a big 2,600 gallon water tank, and then we have to jet pump, have a big jet pump, and we have to jet pump that into the house, you might say. So we buy extra jet pumps. We have solar panels, a lot of solar panels now. So we have extra solar equipment, solar chargers or regulators and stuff like that, that we all have brand in the box in the house. So if something happens, that happened to us one time. One of our solar parts went out, and we'd had no power. We didn't have any power, and the generator broke down. This a long time ago. So we didn't have any power for days and days and days. Nothing, no generator power, no salt. So that taught me, that I should pay attention to that stuff. So we have in the bedroom closet, we have, all these, equipment for the solar panels and stuff, and everything that could possibly go out. We have it right there to replace it all. Another thing is there's something, we didn't buy it, but we built it. We built a mud room. You can probably see it. Oops, out there. It's not a big deal, but it's one of the greatest things I ever did. And a lot of times we didn't have it. But a mud room is where you can there's no door on it, just enclosed, maybe, I don't know, 8 or 10, or 10 by 10. I'm not sure the exact size, and when you are coming home and it's raining and snowing, you can just walk in and you're out of the rain, the snow, the wind, pretty much, and everything. And you have tables there, and you can set your groceries down, whatever, and get your keys out and get in the house like a normal person would do. But for years, I didn't do that. And we're standing out in the snow with a bag of groceries and trying to get the key in the lock. We're getting all drenched with snow and everything. So I highly recommend that for anybody, that lives out in a harsh environment, that can get ugly. And that keeps you're all nice and dry and warm, and you can set your muddy shoes on the deal and walk in, have your slippers there. It's just a great, fantastic deal. Another thing is, when you get 4 or 5 feet of snow on the roof, and I don't know how much weight my roof will take. So you got to get up there and shovel it. And what happens when you break your snow shovel? What are you going to do? You can't do it with your hands. So I always try and keep always one extra snow shovel in case one breaks. That's one thing I'd like to do. Another thing is we have a lot of broken pipes out here. It gets so cold, and we have frozen pipes a lot. So I always carry pipe, glue, solder, whatever we're going to need, pretty much fittings and stuff, so that if I ever do, that we blow pipe, which we do pretty regularly. We blow pipes and stuff like that, and we have to. So I can do it. I can just go under the house or wherever I keep the stuff, and I can fix it and all that. So that's another major thing that I like to have on stock. Another thing is snow clothes. We have just our snow clothes. I call them chicken suits. So you have the rubber suits that go on over your clothes that are really rain resistant, snow resistant. And but we have make sure we got good warm clothes, snow clothes. We got the snow boots. We've got all that. So that another thing is too, when I plow the road with my skid steer, I have a big snow blower, big one. Plows really great, but it's slow. But when you're out there plowing the road, and it's not an enclosed cab, so I'm getting snow blown in and on me, and it's freezing cold. I got to have good gloves. I got to have a face mask. I had to have all that stuff. So we have that, and that is a great deal because it'll take me sometimes 8-10 hours to blade the road off, and you're freezing to death. So we have that. We also have in our neck of the woods up here, we have very undependable phone service when it snows. When it snows, pretty good, I know, even not all that heavy, we lose our phone service. So we have a set of these really nice, I don't know, walkie-talkies you used to call them, but I don't know what they are. But, in about 5 minutes, my wife wants to come in, and she just wanted to come in the house until I'm off the computer, so I told her 5 minutes. But so we have to make sure that we have good a way to communicate with Jeff down below, my grandson, his family, make sure they're okay, and they can check on us. So we have these walkie-talkies, or whatever, I don't think call them that anymore, but walkie-talkies or whatever they are. So we have those, and we can talk to each other, and that's a good thing. But that's kind of the things. I don't know if it'd be really interesting to you too much, but that's kind of the things that we've learned over the last 49 years of living out here in the boonies and the snow and the rain, and that stuff that you need to have in stock all the time, and plus the mudroom. So, but thanks, guys. Appreciate it.